All right. So we talking about.
We're talking about. Well, before we get into what we're going to be talking about, I just want to definitely give a highlight for Ryan Coogler. This man is, he is the dude. You know what I mean? I think he have some really serious movies under his belt, and for me, I think Black Panther kind of, no, not Black Panther, Fruitvale Station kind of did for me.
Both Black Panthers, Creed, the first one, and now Sinners. My man is 5 for 5.
Yeah, he definitely is. I think this movie solidified him for the man that should be behind the cameras for Blade.
Can I tell you?
Like, it is what it is. You know, you see it for yourself. This movie brings in vampires. It brings in the storyline. It brings in the set piece.
It brings in culture.
Everything.
It brings in characterization. It brings in, and for an original IP at that,
and
hats off.
Listen, and Blade should be something. Blade is something that everyone in our community embrace because of Wesley Snipes. You know what I mean? And everything that is involved in that movie is like basically a culture for us. And this within itself, this movie Sinners, it speaks so strongly to us, bro. You know what I mean? Of course, we're going to talk about the story, the acting, the visual effects. We're going to be talking about the action. But overall, we're going to be definitely rating it what we think this movie should get.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean?
So let's talk about it.
Let's talk about the story. Let's go.
Right. Y'all ready to sweat till y'all stank?
You want some?
You keep dancing with the devil.
You go.
Oh, I go?
Hey, you go.
Okay, so the story is basically about two twin brothers, just minding their business, trying to get a Jew joint popping. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, now you have some other things that come into play. It's like, yo, I don't think we want that to happen. That happens at the end of the story. But then you have some other things that come into play, like the vampires that come and mix it up devilishly.
Yeah.
I loved this film. This film had me in my feelings for so many different reasons. First of all, the story itself, even though it is a simple story, literally what I just outlined, it is a powerful story due to the characters that were built, the world building that was built. Even if you're talking about maybe 5 to 6 places, like it wasn't a whole bunch of places that you saw, but the 5 or 6 set pieces that you saw was masterfully done. Okay, it felt and breathed like an experience out of a history book that came alive.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
I loved that for this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, you had the characters, both twins played by Michael B. Jordan. And the fact that you had one person play 2 different type of people, they felt very individual. They felt very, very individual.
Yeah.
And Smoke a Sack, like, yo, hats off to you, Michael B. Jordan. But I really want to give shine to my man, Miles Caton.
Yeah.
He is the guy that played Sammy. And for this, first of all, for being his debut film, Ryan, where you get this dude at? And you need to get more talent like that. Because you just gave this man a chance to shine, and he took it and said, I am going to own this thing. And he did. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the story, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things that grabbed me along with this movie is the culture back then in the 1930s. How black people thrive in that era. How everything, and I mean the story was peak basically.
Yeah.
But just everything that revolves around this movie that brought it alive. The idea that hoodoo was back then in the slave era, in the black era, whatever.
No, it was 1930s.
Yeah, 1930s.
Mm-hmm.
It was prevalent. It was a lot of people used hoodoo. I'm not sure if you know what hoodoo is. Hoodoo is basically it's kind of similar to voodoo. It's basically used by Black Americans, back in the era to kind of bring spirituality to certain things. We bring that basically from Africa, and Black Americans was mostly using hoodoo to gain spirituality, spiritual wealth, spiritual protectness, and all of that good stuff. But just to how Black people were living, this movie brought that shit alive, and the fact that we had to have our own spaces in the form of a juke joint.
Yep.
Juke joint was very prominent
Prevalent,
in that era, and this basically is a safe space for Black people who just wanted to get away from the hardships of life back then and just enjoy life, enjoy themselves and everything.
And that was so
that was so warming,
beautiful to see.
Oh my God!
Between those scenes and even how the jukebox even started, the fact that he said, "Joe, I'm gonna put my people on."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put my people on, and we're gonna create this. It's not just gonna be about me and my brother. I'm gonna put my cousin on. I'm gonna put my wifey on. I'm gonna put my best friends who's in other ethnicities on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my people, the community on.
Yeah.
That was just so fucking dope to see.
Yeah.
But then going back to what you're talking about, those scenes in the juke joint. First of all, I know at some point you're gonna pull that picture that's where that's pulling from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I wouldn't necessarily call this movie a horror movie, even though that there's vampires in it. It wasn't that scary. To tell you the truth, it was more like a survival thing.
There's some jump scares in it too. The very first, within the first 5 seconds, you had a nice jump scare.
Yeah, you had a few jump scares.
That actually put me on to like, what? Wait, okay.
Yeah, you had a few jump scares in it. I definitely love the story. I love the plot. I love everything about this movie. Just the brothers that coming together and say, "Yo, let's build our community, yo.
Yep.
Let's build our community. Let's enjoy it. Let's let everyone eat and all of that good stuff." Of course, this story was inspired by Ryan Coogler's uncle, Slim. What his name again? Delroy Lindo's Delta Slim character in the movie. The movie was inspired by his uncle and of course his family lineage. But overall, this story itself was so solid. I would definitely give this story a 10 out of 10. Just because I went into the movie thinking that it was going to be something different, which it ended up not being, because I was thinking that, well, it's going to be a whole bunch of white people surrounding the barn and they're going to attack, and the black people were in the barn trying to stay alive and all of that. I was thinking it was going to be like that.
And he flipped it very well.
And it's fine. It's okay.
Very well.
Know what I mean? It was cool. It definitely was not what I expected, and it blew me out the water.
Yeah. And the music?
Yeah.
The soundtrack?
Oh my God, bro.
Like music, I said, man. Even just talking about it gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Oh. You got us a problem, y'all. What the hell going on?
Oh, we heard tale of a party.
Listen, Miles Caden. I was looking at some stuff about this dude, and at one point he was in this Little Big what do you call it? He was on this TV show with Little Big something, Little Big Shots with Steve Harvey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was this little kid, and he was singing his ass off.
Okay.
Bro. And I'm like, what? He did that, and then he performed that. He performed a lot of gospel songs. Damn, but some Englishman, goddamn eye.
Yep.
But he performed a lot of gospel songs, and of course crossed over into R&B, and he did. I think he's doing both. He looks like a very cool dude. He can sing and the works, and bruh, when I found out that this was his first debut acting role, I was like, what? Because I'm here looking for other movies that this dude was in, and I just can't find it. This is his first fucking movie. Like, seriously.
And listen, like I said, we are not going to take away from any of the people, including my home girl. I don't want to say her name wrong. Can you say her name for me?
Wouldn't me Musaka.
Thank you, because girl.
Yeah.
For me, as a plus size sis, I love seeing her.
Yeah, man.
Okay, I love seeing her.
She is beautiful, bro. Have you ever seen some pictures of her online?
Yes, I have. I follow her. She's
beautiful,
awesome,
bro.
You know what I'm saying? So between her,
Gorgeous black woman, bro.
Michael B. Jordan, between Delano Lindo, like those are iconic.
Yeah,
and
Jamie
well-established actors. But again, I want to continue what you're talking about with Miles Canton, because one of the things that I appreciated was the soulfulness of how he sung. Yeah. That was definitely about a time period.
Yes.
Like if you would have had the same story in the 1990s or even 2000s, I don't know if that would have fit. Because the way that he sung it with such depth, okay, and tone, it was so deep and rich. And that brought me in to how he sung.
Yeah.
But again, it's not just him singing, it's not just him playing, it is just his acting.
Yeah.
He had this on his shoulders alongside Michael B. Jordan.
Yo.
Alongside of them. And he did not miss a beat.
Yo, and don't get it twisted. Michael B. Jordan did his fucking thing.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? Michael B. Jordan did his thing. Acting as two persons in one. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He did well, bruh.
Yes.
Wunmi was, oh my God, she was phenomenal.
Very.
Jamie Lawson, she was wonderful. She just had this seductive look about her, you know what I mean? I was sitting beside this dude beside me, and
y'all had a moment, didn't y'all?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
We were like, bruh.
Y'all had a moment.
But yeah, man, they came out. Delroy Lindo as the blues player. He is, you already know, bruh. He was that dude, you know what I mean? And man, it's acting across the board with these actors, and of course I gotta give a big respect to Omar Benson Miller. He has been in the game for so fucking long, bro.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
As Cornbread, he was in as Cornbread. He did his thing.
Yep.
I mean, there was no shortfall.
No misses.
There was no
misses.
Shortfall of
no
anyone.
Misses.
No shortfall of anyone that did the acting. Overall, this is 10 out of fucking 10, bro.
Agreed.
10 out of 10.
And you are? I am. Your way out.
Of course, as I said earlier, the action, there wasn't much action in it. It's just like a movie telling a story about two brothers, you know. Then, in a short while, I think was maybe 3/4 up from the movie, the vampire came into play.
I'll say half.
Yeah, about that. He came into play, and you know, I want to say that the action is not a lot. Only when it, when it was in the ending of the movie, it started picking up speed and everything. But that's just the only thing with this movie. I wish it was more vampire action in it. Although I understand where this movie is going to, what the whole intent of the story was about, intent of the movie was about, whatever. But just the action, there wasn't much, but the acting and everything that was involved in the movie kind of made up for it for me. You know what I mean? So for the action, I will definitely give it an 8 out of 10. You know, basically.
I am going to agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I am still going to give it a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Because your very last action scene, Michael B. Jordan said, fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
And the racists fucked around and found out.
Yeah, most definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We just want to be left alone, bro. Like, we just want to do what we need to do.
Yeah, we just want to be left alone.
And they said, oh, we gonna go N-word hunting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he said, all right, I told y'all, if y'all came through, y'all are gonna get killed.
Yeah. Yep. That was the case that they gave me.
So, to me, I'm like I said, I actually agree with you on everything you said.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you. I think that if they didn't have that particular scene, I'd probably go with that.
Yeah.
That to me was worth the 2 points. I'm gonna give it 10 out of 10.
Yeah, definitely. So for me, it's just the scene with the vampires attacking the barn, and then the last scene of the movie was.
Listen,
that's it.
True, but listen, even seriously, the action scenes that we did get, top tier though.
Yeah, it was
top tier.
It was. Yeah,
we needed a little bit more.
Yeah,
but what we got was top tier. You saw the special effects in full magnitude. Okay, the guys that were getting killed and bitten. Okay, Cornbread's face. The guy that they that they jumped because he slashed that the other guy.
Yeah.
Okay, what?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. So yeah. So acting for me is 8 out of 10, and you give it a 10 out of 10. All right.
Ghosts, demons, just power.
Somebody please take
I already talked about my visual effects.
Yeah.
I forgot that we was talking about visual because I actually linked it to acting. I mean, to the action.
To the action. Yeah. Well, the visual effects was good in its aspect. I think instead of visual effects, I'm gonna give it to the set pieces that was used within the movie. Just the environment of the movie. Everything just took me back to this 1930s era. And it looks so original. It looks so good. It gave you that true essence of the 1920s, 1930s in the South. And, I definitely will give it that respect in terms of how it played out. For the vampires and everything, that looks awesome. I love how it looks.
And simple is better. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't like you have like a lot of different vampire flicks where you have the whole face prosthetics or whatever. Yeah. They went, we're just gonna go with the glowy eyes, and we can do that in probably and it felt like it wasn't even oh God, what do you call it? Contacts. You know what I'm saying? It felt like it was a VX thing. Visual, so you had the glowy eyes and the teeth. That's it.
And the only one of the things that kind of looked weird in the movie as well was the gushing blood. Does the blood look like water?
It was a little gory. It was a little gory.
It was a little gory.
It was a little gory.
But overall, I gave this visual effects and everything a 9 out of 10. Just because there wasn't much special effects, visual effects to have, but just the set pieces that they use within the movie just awed me, basically.
I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 because I hear you.
Yeah.
But what was done was done efficiently well.
Okay. I got you. That's cool. So overall, Sinners, I believe, is one of the the best movie so far for 2025. Not going to count Superman as yet, but
listen, the top we can put that stake. That's top 5. Thank you. We can put it in that stake as top 5.
Definitely top 5 movie. They speak so well with the community. Of course, it also had a story.
Yes,
it had something that is brought to the table. And yes, exactly. Ryan Coogler is that dude. Do you hear me? Ryan Coogler is that dude. I am definitely gonna give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. Definitely will. I want to watch it again before it hits the TVs.
Well, that's a day one purchase.
But yeah,
that's
definitely
a day one purchase.
As I
see
say,
it in IMAX.
You know, as I say, it brought so much to the table. And as I say again, Ryan Coogler, please think about doing Blade.
Disney,
please
give it to him.
Give it to that
Y'all
dude.
saw what he did with Black Panther.
This is it.
1 and 2. And 2 was a feat being at what he had to do.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now he's giving you an original IP, an original horror IP. And granted, I will give you that 9.5, even though I personally think it's a 10, but only because if you're going to build as horror, it should be a little bit more horror-centric.
Yeah.
However,
that's what I believe too.
We're talking about really trying to nitpick a masterpiece. Okay, that's what we're doing. So Disney, get off your ass.
Yes, ma'am.
Give Ryan the keys.
Yes, ma'am.
And let him cook.
Yes, ma'am. Let that man cook some food easily. But guys, let us know what you guys think about this movie. Of course, this is strictly spoilers, and we're gonna put that out there, whatever. But this was wonderful. This was a wonderful made movie. Let us know what you guys think about the movie. What you gotta say about it?
I thought you was about to be like, man, like what? I was giving it 10s the entire time. Like I said, listen, my heart wants to give it a 10. The horror fan in me wants to give it a 9.5. So I'm going to give it a 9.75.
9.75. All right. That's cool.
Oh my God. I'm nitpicking so badly.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's such a 10 movie. Don't get it twisted. It is such a 10 movie.
Such a 10, man.
It's such a 10 movie.
But for what I would love to see in it, it didn't happen, but it still worked out. The horror fan in me. Yeah, it still worked out. The cinephile in me is like 10 on 10. Yeah, it still worked out.
Without a doubt. Without a freaking doubt.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, guys, if you like what you see, please like, subscribe, do all that stuff for us, please.
It helps us grow with the algorithm. All right?
Yep.
I'm Lainey.
And I'm Jay.
We will see you in the next video. Peace to the gods.